Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Hilary Booth and I'm a naturopathic doctor, and welcome to my video blog. Today I'm going to be talking about something that sounds really simple. I'm going to be talking about how to properly make a good salad. But I know it sounds ridiculous, but if I had $1 for every single time somebody came into my office or even in my personal life who said to me, you know what, I don't like having a salad for lunch because either it doesn't fill me up or it's boring or I'm hungry like 20 minutes later, I would be a really wealthy person if I had $1 for every time I heard one of these three things. So, since I'm obviously not getting $1 for every time I hear that, I'm going to share with you how to make a great lunchtime salad that's going to fill you up, it's going to keep you full, and it's going to be so yummy that your mouth is going to be watering well before your lunch hour starts. So, step number 1 is choosing a good lettuce. Many people go with mixed greens, and those kinds of salads are lettuce bases that they see at the grocery store, and this is what I call weak lettuce. So no wonder you have to eat like 2 huge pounds full of this kind of lettuce in order to feel full. It's because this is what I call weak lettuce. So basically instead we're going to be choosing a heartier lettuce that's going to be better at filling you up. Something like kale or baby kale is phenomenal. There's Swiss chard, there's beet tops, there's spinach. So again, these are going to really fill you up because they're higher in fiber than something like romaine lettuce is, and they have more vitamins and minerals in them, so they're actually more nutrient dense than, again, something like romaine lettuce or a mixed green might be. Number 2 is going to be get creative with your vegetables. So lots of people are guilty of going to the grocery store every single day or every week and picking up the same veggies for your salad. So people go straight for their go-to salad toppers. Maybe it's peppers and tomatoes and cucumber and celery and carrots, right? These are sort of our typical types of things that we put in salads. But, there's nothing wrong with those veggies. But over time, they get really boring and they're actually not as nutrient dense, and those ones typically are higher in sugar or water content than lots of the other veggies that are out there. So, if you're looking to make a really yummy salad, change up your vegetable intake. Choose something like red cabbage, maybe. Maybe you should steam some broccoli, or you can bake some Brussels sprouts in the oven. You can make sweet potatoes, or maybe even shred some raw beets into your salad, or use boiled beets and make sort of a pickled beet for your salad. Something like that is going to vary your flavors, but it's also going to vary the types of nutrients that you're getting and putting into your body. So that's also a really important reason why you're switching up what you're putting into your salad. So I recommend buying one sort of wild card veggie per week to start for your salads, and try and buy something that, again, is completely out of the ordinary for you, and something maybe that's typically considered sort of a dinner vegetable that you're going to then be putting in your salad, and you can switch that up every week. My tip number 3 is to focus on the protein. Most people don't put nearly enough protein in their lunches. So your lunch shouldn't have about 20 grams of protein in it. So you can get a few grams of protein from your vegetables for sure, and a few grams from your nuts, but the majority of your protein needs to actually come from one of the following ideas. 3 hard-boiled eggs, a half a cup of beans or a half a cup of chickpeas, a half cup of chopped chicken, fish, pork, or steak. Any of those meats are great. A whole cup of lentils, a whole cup of quinoa, or a whole cup of tofu. These options each give you somewhere around 20 grams of protein in each of those portion sizes. So protein is actually what's going to fill you up. It's going to make you feel satiated. It's going to keep you fuller for longer, so you're actually going to last until later on in the day when you start getting hungry again. And it's also going to keep your blood sugar nice and stable for you, and it's going to help you to have a really steady source of energy for your afternoon. Again, I recommend rotating some of these around so that you get different sources of protein, just like we did with the vegetables. So experimenting with something like lentils or beans or chickpeas or something like that is a great option for lots of people who are stuck on using the same proteins over and over again. Hemp hearts can also be a really great way of adding protein into your salad if you're not quite getting up to the right number or the right portion size that I'd mentioned before of those proteins. My step number 4 is nuts and seeds and other fiber. So fiber needs to be a really big portion of your salad. So every salad needs to have about a handful or about a quarter a cup of nuts and seeds. So this gives you good quality fats and fiber. It gives you a different profile of nutrients and minerals that you're going to need. And again, it's going to help keep you fuller for longer. So with other veggies and with proteins, the same thing goes for your fiber. You want to switch it up to keep things interesting for you. I personally like to switch between walnuts, almonds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and cashews. Those are my favorites, but you can choose your own favorites that you can put into your salads. Now, if you're finding you're not getting enough fiber, or if these salads aren't filling you up, you also may want to consider adding some more fiber in here. This also might be important for you if you are experiencing constipation. So at least 1 tablespoon of either flax seeds or chia seeds are going to go a long way to keeping you fuller, and also to help if you're having any digestive issues. Step number 5 for you today is to make your own dressing. Please, 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 please do not use store-bought dressings. Even if they're packaged to be healthy or low calorie, I challenge you, look at the ingredients on your pre-made salad dressings and see what's listed. Most of them contain sugar as the first or second ingredient and water as another ingredient in there. Lots of them contain dairy hidden as well. Even in your clear dressings, like some of your balsamics and your Italians, they contain dairy. Citric acid as a preservative, and the ever-present natural flavoring, which is not natural flavoring, it's an ingredient called natural flavoring. So making your own dressing can be really easy. All you need is a 2-to-1 ratio of extra virgin olive oil to some sort of vinegar. I don't care what kind of vinegar that is, apple cider vinegar, balsamic vinegar, white wine vinegar, red wine vinegar, whatever works for you. And sometimes if you don't have a lot of time, you can just keep those 2 bottles at your desk and mix them in a 2-to-1 ratio right there on your salad. Or you can switch up your recipes, surprise, surprise, the theme of the day, and try and do some different kinds of dressings. So make a dressing with Dijon mustard, or one with lemon. You can make a herb and garlic dressing, or you can try something like a sesame ginger dressing. These kinds of things help switch up your flavor palettes and keep you excited and interested in what you're having for lunch. On this topic, since dressing is where we get our flavor, I'm going to throw in a little tidbit here about using herbs. So your grocery store will have a great variety of fresh herbs that you can buy, and it's usually the perfect portion size for a week's worth of salads. So this week, for example, I bought basil for my salads, and so this week I've had a great fresh basil kind of flavored salad. Last week I used parsley, and the week before that I used dill. And so there's lots of different flavors that you can get from just adding something like a fresh herb to your salad. My 6th and final step for you today is about preparation and portion sizes. So if you're busy, then going to all this trouble of making this really crazy salad with Brussels sprouts and beets and whole knows what else you're putting into it might be really difficult for you, especially if this is a change to your normal routine. So I recommend doing your salads in batches of 3 to 5, so you can maybe even get away with doing your full week worth of salads in advance. So you get everything out, you chop it, you portion it out into your different containers, and you're all set for the week. So portions are very individual for this kind of thing. I've given you some ideas as we've been going here. So for my general rule, you want 2 big sort of double handfuls of vegetables, so double handfuls being there's 1 and then there being 2 of vegetables in your salad, at least as a minimum. And so for me, that's about the portion size of this size container right here. This container is really easily found to purchase, and it's glass, which is phenomenal. And that's a good size for your veggies and your nuts and seeds and your fiber. And then for my protein, I like these little guys because it's a good way of portioning out about a half a cup of whether it's your meats or your legumes that you're putting in there as your protein. So if you're still hungry with doing this, then what I would recommend is increasing the amount of protein that you're eating in your salad, or you can consider adding a healthy carb to your salad like quinoa, sweet potato, or lentils. So just to recap, here are my 6 steps in order to make yourself a mouth-watering, filling salad that's going to keep you full and energized right through till your afternoon snack. Number 1 is don't choose a weak lettuce. Choose a strong lettuce, something like kale, chard, beet tops, and spinach. Number 2 is to get creative with your veggies. Picking things like broccoli, parsnip, zucchini, sweet potato, and other sort of outside-the-box thinking style veggies will really help keep your salads interesting. Number 3 is focus on having 20 grams of protein with your lunch. This is a big step for lots of people. This is about half a cup of a meat or a legume. Number 4 is to add in some fiber, about a quarter cup of nuts and seeds, plus 1 tablespoon of either chia seeds or flax seeds to help you get that fiber that you need. Number 5 is going to be to make your own salad dressing. Please don't buy something from the store. That 2-to-1 ratio of an oil to a vinegar plus whatever flavorings you want in there is a great way of switching up your salad and being a lot more healthy with your choices. Don't forget also you can add some fresh herbs in this step to make things more tasty. And number 6 is that you want to make everything in advance. So you want to be packing up those containers of your veggies and your proteins in advance so you can just grab and go in the morning. And you want to play around with your portion sizes to make sure that it is filling you up properly. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful week filled with delicious, mouth-watering, filling salads. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below, or feel free to book an appointment with me at DeruWellness.com or by calling our office. Have a great week.